So Monday night, I parked my car on the street to go to dinner. I was like, I've been working inside. I've been inside all day. I eat all these meals alone, which isn't lonely or depressing in a pandemic at all. At least the news is good. We've got great people in the White House. So like, there's nothing to be depressed about. So just going out to get dinner.
Totally. Yeah, you get those hungry man made for TV dinners, right? Those are
eating alone in front of the TV when you live alone in the middle of a pandemic is not lonely or depressing at all. It is the most life affirming. Boy, I've made great choices that you could ever have in your life. I mean, it's like eating. Well, it's like riding a unicorn on a rainbow.
Well, you know what you could do is you set up your stuffed animals like an audience. Just put up some little bleacher steps, and then
that doesn't make it worse. That doesn't make it more pathetic that I'm talking to stuff. Hey, that I love you think I have all these stuffed animals. Maybe I do. Maybe
I assumed.
They're vegan, gluten-free stuffed animals. I will tell you that. And then
I mean, I know they're the lesser known characters from the Avengers, but still, they count.
Yeah, it's like all of Batman's like his hot villain enemies like Poison Ivy and Catwoman, and it's that's who I'm talking to.
Is it sadder or less sad if it's all female stuffed animals?
Oh, it's 10 times sadder. Like it's exponentially more sad if that's what I'm doing. It's so sad. Hey, Graham, how come you can't get a girlfriend? I don't need one. I've got all of my stuffed animal friends.
Exactly. I don't know why they don't seem to stick around after I introduce them to the stuffed animals. I don't know what it is.
Well, if the stuffed animals don't like my new girlfriend, then she has to go.
That's on her. That's on her. So she has to look within herself and figure out what's wrong with her, that she didn't get along with my female friends.
If she can't get along with my female friends, oh, that's a good. Who are your female friends? Oh, stuffed animals, female stuffed animals. Oh, you're like the male nerd version of a crazy cat lady. Yeah, okay, got it. So what the fuck? Hold on, I gotta move. This light thing's driving me crazy. So anyway, well, there we go. So yeah, I went out to dinner Monday night, and then while I was at dinner, I come out from dinner and I see a truck smash into my car. So I've been dealing with that all week.
Oh fuck! Like you watched it happen?
Yeah. Luckily, no one was hurt. The driver's safe. I'm safe. No one was hurt. But I literally just watched this like boom. And it was a big pickup truck, and it took my little electric car and it moved it 30 feet. Like
it actually just drove away with your car on the front bumper. Actually, it
didn't realize it. It just kept driving. It just thought it was like a bug or something, or like a Mylar balloon is what it thought it was on its front.
It's got windshield wipers just to get rid of those, to push the electric cars off.
Yeah, that's what. It's got an electric car grill that it just, like you do with cows. You just push
like a cow catcher. Yeah.
Yeah, you just shove them off to the side. So that's what the car was.
It's got an electric car catcher. Just knocks them out of the way.
Yeah, degenerate hippie electric car vehicle owners like me off to the side. So that's what I've been dealing with. And like literally
you were like, oh my God, this just keeps getting sadder. You were like, this is my celebratory dinner out. And then your car gets plowed into.
Literally, like my stuffed animals were like, this is what you get for leaving us. Like it was really
the stuffed animals were like, look, we told you, man.
Told you, don't leave the house. How many times have we said that? We're the safest thing you're ever gonna have in your life. Don't leave us.
We left your plate of food out here. It just got cold because you weren't here, and that was upsetting to us. So
no trucks running into you when you sit here and talk and do shows to us. We tell you we love you. We like your electric car. We don't deliberately smash into it because we hate change, you know. So
oh God. So but Was this guy planning on doing a hit and run, but unfortunately he saw you come running out? That's my car.
No, actually, it was a very lovely young woman, and she was driving, I think she said her dad's car, and the wheel literally came off of the car. Like, she did nothing wrong. It was nobody's fault. The front passenger side wheel on this big pickup truck literally just, she was like, I was driving and then I don't know what the hell, the car just went, like, so when the car was smashed into mine, I was sitting there with the cops going, wait, well, where's her wheel? Like, where's your wheel? And the cops were like, we were looking for it for like 5-10 minutes. And then there was another car on the other side of the street on the other direction traffic. It hit that car and its airbags were deployed. So everyone walked away safe. And this woman that hit me was like, so apology. She's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm like, hey man, we're all safe. It's all good. Nobody's in the hospital. Nobody's hurt. But it's just, you know, it's been a week of dealing with like her insurance company.
Oh yeah, that horse shit. Yeah.
All that crap, you know, and then I had to get a rental car, and hey, I'm grateful. I got insurance. I'm in a decent rental car.
So what you're saying is you finally got some human interaction. This is good. This is good. This is healthy.
It is health. It is healthy. I got human, and there were women. So it was a woman who smashed into me. It was a woman at the counter. It was a woman at the insurance. So I've had that interaction with 3 lovely ladies who are very kind and nice. And
there you go.
So does it make my life more sad at all? Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what I love about the dealing with the insurance or something is like, it's so obvious to anyone with half a brain that the whole system is set up to try and get you just to give up, just to stop asking them to cover the car crash, the medical insurance, whatever it is. They're just trying to get you to go, oh, fuck it. I don't have time for this. I'll pay the $1,000. And it's so obvious, and yet they have to act all oblivious. And so they're like, well, no, we just want to discuss this with you. You know, we're not covering that. And then you got to go through person to person to person. It takes you hours and hours. And it's all just designed for you out of the hopes you will give up.
I've already started to get some of that. Well, they're like, your car, I had to take it to the collision shop, and they're like, it might be a total, like it's more damage than what the car's worth, right? My car is 3 years old. But I just got it 2 months ago, right? So my lease was up on my other car. So I bought a used electric car. And they're like, it's going to be total. I'm like, okay. And they're like, and yesterday the insurance company was like, you know, we'll pay for you to have a rental car. I'm like, okay, just go to this rental car. It goes right to our account. Great. Got this rental car. Nice. Everything's good. And they're like, well, because there's 3 cars involved, I don't know, we might not be able to cover everything. I'm just like, all right, here we go. Here we go. Like, let's see if I got this right. I bought a car 2 years ago, or 2 months ago. 2 months ago. I bought this car 2 months ago.
Well, yeah, for 2 months.
I've had it 2 months. 2 months ago, I put money down on it. I had to finance the rest. I bought an extended warranty because it was a used car. It's a 2017. So like, I didn't buy like a 2008 and go, oh, what happened? Why did it not work? So I bought it 2017. I think it was, I don't know what it was. It was maybe $2,000 on the extended warranty, which I'm a firm believer in. And you had
to buy a few stuffed animals for the dashboard.
I bought stuffed animals for the dashboard. Of course. Absolutely. I had the car painted to look like me. So,
so that's extra cost. That's out of my pocket. That's out of my pocket.
I'm already in the red now because I had to paint the car to look like me. And so I'm told the 2-year extra warranty or extended protection, whatever, like I can get a refund on that. Like when I bought it, they're like, if you sell this car, you can stay with the car. You can get a refund on the months, or, you know, they'll prorate it. So I got to get that money back. And I'm like, I just want the money I put down on like, cut the fuck, you know, like just pay off the loan and give me like, and they're like, well, your insurance might have to cover some of it. So let me see if I got this right. I did. I parked my car legally. I went to dinner, and now I'm going to be out of pocket. So I've done nothing wrong. And this is
Yeah. No, for them, it has nothing to do with who did anything wrong. It just has to do with what is the least amount that the money they can lay out for this. And so it's hoping you'll give up.
Yeah, it is. They're hoping I give up. And I'm just like, yeah, we'll see. So I got to.
Why don't you go? Listen, you don't know what the fuck you're dealing with. All right, I'm a fucking YouTuber. Okay, I got nothing but time. I sit here all day and just turn on a mic. And so you just try and outlast me.
I'm going to come in very reasonable and calm and say, well, I don't know this and I don't know that, but that isn't like in my back pocket. Like, okay. You want my 73,000 subscribers to call your office? Let's play that. See how that shakes out. Let's see how that goes. So it's like, I'm nice. I haven't been angry. You know, some people are like, oh my God, were you pissed off? And no, it's again, it's nobody's fault. This woman who's driving her tire felt like that's a crazy set of circumstances. It's nobody's fault. It could have been awful.
Well, you also can't be mean when you get the chance to talk to a human woman. I mean, I'm the same way, so you can't.
I show her the same respect I show my Poison Ivy doll. The same,
exactly, same respect.
I
mean, it was a little awkward because I went running up to her, yelling "human woman" at the beginning. So that was awkward. But other than that, we've really hit it off.
When I pet her head and said, wow, you're real. Like that was a little odd having cops and EMTs standing around, but you're fun. You're pretty. Like, but no, man, I've been like totally, even when I talked to the insurance person, I was like, her insurance company, I was like, look, it's okay. She's like, wow, you're so calm. Cause there's no point in getting mad in these situations because I mean, if this girl was drunk driving or was like texting or doing, and it was, she did something irresponsible, I might be a little annoyed, but this is just a freak thing happened. So what are you going to do? So there's no, like, getting angry only exacerbates the problem.
Well, yeah, but if you were a true American, you'd be suing her for emotional damages right now.
God, I know. I'm not one of those guys. I'm not doing that. I'm just not, but like, I don't know, whatever. I'm going to be as reasonable as I can be. Victory comes with the sword still in the scabbard, Lee. That's what I learned in my samurai training. So, but they are dealing with a samurai, so they just need to understand that.
Right. Just to let you know, every time someone hits my car, I just say, just up front, I'm a samurai, just so we can get that.
Just so you know, I'm a Zen Buddhist, but I also have a 30-inch razor blade that I can unsheath at any moment and bring flashing steel death from above. But just other than that, let's figure this out.
Flashing steel. So yeah, could you send that information to my email address? It's flashingsteeldeathfromabove@gmail.com. I'm not threatening you. I'm just saying that's the email address.
My email address is I will not be dishonored in this or any other lifetime. So just send it there. And that will, I'll be meditating. Because samurais were Buddhists.
I'm not, this is not a threat. I feel the need to let you know, I can pull your heart out over the phone. So just beware of that. If you're going to tell me you're not going to cover this.
I wake up every morning being totally okay with dying. So just think of that as you come up with the appraisal amount that I don't need this lifetime, and neither does anyone around me as far as I'm concerned. But however the dollar amount figures out on your end based on your calculations, just shoot me an email. That'd be great.
Just shoot me an email.
So that's my week.
Well, lovely week. It just keeps getting better.
How's your week? How's Redacted tonight?
I went hiking in the Shenandoah National Forest Park area thing.
How's that?
It was good. Nobody hit my car.
Nobody shot you with a musket or anything that happens up there in the Shenandoah Hills, or
no. I always wondered during those hikes out there. So there are some bears apparently, but there's it's for one type of bear. The thing you're absolutely supposed to do is just play dead. And then for another type of bear, you're absolutely supposed to not play dead. And you're supposed to make yourself look as big as possible and sound loud and intimidating. But I don't know which is which.
So what do you do? Half of each? How does that work?
Yeah. You play dead, but make loud noises while you do it. Yeah, no. So I don't, it's just, it's a 50-50 shot on which one I pick. Or do I try one? And then once he starts clawing my face off, be like, oh, other one. Okay, hold on. Just give me a second. I'll switch.
Just play like dead. And when it starts, I think that's the way to go. Play dead, play like you're sleeping. And then when it starts eating your leg or whatever, then scream and make it run away. Or just snore really loud so you kind of catch it somewhere in the gray area of it.
I mean, it really is like polar opposites. One of them you're supposed to look big and run like fucking hell. And the other one you're supposed to, whatever you do not run. So.
Well, I would get some bear insurance. That's what I would do, and make sure you're covered.
Yeah.
So an appraiser can determine which part of your leg they're going to cover after.
Yeah, they're like, some of your face is going to have to come out of your pocket. We're sorry about this.
All right.
By the way, I don't know if this is just my view or whatever, but in my view, your face is kind of half cut off.
I know, because if I
is that all right?
Well, because of my stupid lighting, and what if I do that? Is that okay? It's a little more.
Yeah, but then we're tiny.
Bullshit.
Yeah, let's go to the other one, I guess. All right, just letting you know.
Because then there's just a little bit of a glare right there from my light, but I can do this. This works.
You look good. You look good. This first half hour, I am going to count as government secrets because I feel like we covered the government secrets on insurance and the government secret on your stuffed animal collection. So I think we got a lot done.
Operation Stuffed Animal is a long time CIA thing that they started working with Milosevic in Bosnia. It's a really, of course, it was born out of some horrific genocidal maniac. Is how they came with, this is how you torture their brains with stuffed animals. Make them live with stuffed animals. Then cars can smash them and they'll do nothing. So,
and then it has this adorable name like, what's Operation Stuffed Animal? Oh, you don't want to know about that. You don't know that you won't sleep right for months if I tell you about Operation Stuffed Animal. Horrifying. No. Yeah. How are you with urethra torture? Because it's I don't think we should talk about this right now.
I've never been a death metal fan, but when I saw urethra torture, I gotta tell you, I was like, they have kind of a funk backbeat that I like funk. I'm not a death metal guy, but you put a little funk in your death metal, and that's why
put a little funk in your urethra, and it's
put some funk. Put a little funk in your urethra, everybody. Government Secrets, episode 17. Pew, 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 pew. Funky urethra. Hit the like button, everybody. And if you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, subscribe, do all that good stuff, share in your social media. It helps the show grow. Our numbers have been going. I checked our numbers where our downloads have been going up.
Up. The word's getting out. Well, we got to thank you, the listener and viewer, for that because
yes.
I think you guys are spreading the word.
Yep. And jam this show up your urethra and it'll help our analytics. Yep.
The iPod just came out with a new earbud type thing that you just insert it right up there. You never have to think about it again. It just stays there. And it emits music in a catheter.
And just touch your urethra, and it's like you can go to another show or call or whatever.
You can skip a song just by you just grab it and you just stroke it for a minute, and that's
stroke your urethra and get to the next track. So you can veto this if you'd like. I don't know if it really counts as a government secret, and I often shy away from talking about the thing everybody's talking about. But can we please just spend 3 minutes on Giuliani's face melting? Can we just? So beautiful. it is the government's secret of how truly crazy Giuliani has gotten. And I think it's indicative of the United States, because remember 20 years ago, after 9/11, he was like revered as a hero. He handled it really well, which I think probably he did, you know, but like,
well, and that there was that moment after 9/11 where everyone just wanted a daddy. Like all of America just wanted a daddy to stand up and say, I got this, everybody. And fucking George Bush was nowhere to be seen. There was no one standing up and saying that. And so Giuliani ended up being the guy that was like, hey, everybody, I got this. And those of us who weren't following him didn't know really his past, didn't know what he stood for. We were just like, thank God, this guy's got it covered. Like,
he's amazing.
Yeah.
Little did we know, 19 years later, he was going to be doing a press conference at the Four Seasons, whatever, lumberyard by the dildo factory.
Total landscaping.
Four Seasons landscaping. And then a couple weeks later was literally his hair dye was going to be melting on his face. He's like, find me the worst location to do a press conference, make it hot, make it like and for those who
might not have realized that this was predicted years ago by the movie Fifth Element, where the villain stares into the abyss of pure evil. It's just a black super planet of pure evil. And whenever he does, his forehead starts sweating toxic black sludge. And now Giuliani is doing that live during press conferences.
If ever there was a time to go back and rewatch The Fifth Element, I think now is the time, because I kind of feel like maybe we're living in it. I don't know what, like,
yeah.
And make no mistake, The Fifth Element is a horrible movie. Luc Besson, who's done some great work. This is my movie nerdness. Then that movie came out, I was like, oh, the new Luc Besson movie, it's going to be amazing. And oh my God, is it bad? It's really,
I think you need to rewatch it. I think it ages perfectly and it is so good now. It is so good now. And it's all worth it for, Mila Jovovich in some sort of straps. So, all right. Mila Jovovich in straps like that for sure is,
she's carved out. She's in straps. And then she went from there to all of the, whatever that zombie video game movie is.
Oh yeah. Underworld or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And they're all just insane. And she just keeps making those. And I'm like, what an amazing career choice. She was like a model. She does that movie. And then she's like, yeah, I'll do all these.
Well, it's funny that there's a certain brand of actor that finds their thing, like their franchise, and it makes them all the millions that they need, I guess. And they have no interest in anything else because they just have their franchise. It's like, you know, Vin Diesel in Fast and Furious. He was just like, I got this and I'm done.
That's all he wants. Yeah. And then he was like, yep, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do a couple of Riddicks. And there you go. And it's like, what's this Riddick franchise? Who cares? We're going to we're going to make it, and we're going to make Riddick movies as though everybody knows what it is. Like, that's the thing I love about, they're like, the new Riddick movie's out. Everyone's like, who's Riddick?
I still don't know what that is. It sounds like someone's having a seizure or something.
It induces a seizure. It absolutely induces seizures when you watch the movie. So,
but I will say that, you know, it makes sense for Vin Diesel to have kind of just picked those franchises, because you know something no one watching a non-Vin Diesel movie has ever said is this could use some Vin Diesel. So I don't think we're missing out.
The Fast and Furious movies are some of the greatest movies ever made, especially the last 2 or 3 of them, because they are insane. They defy gravity. This is a government secret. Watch those movies. They don't care gravity, physics.
There's no physics. There's no physics.
None. And then Vin Diesel, God bless him, he carved out the easiest acting career. Like, imagine just being worth $20 million because all you got to do is walk around in a tank top going, hey, family, hey, we're going to do family. That's all he does in those movies. They're fantastic. They're just,
how dare you, Graham? You say Fifth Element sucks, and then you have the nerve to say Fast and Furious is fantastic. Oh, God. This may be the final episode. This show can't continue after this.
Well, this is a government secret. Fast and Furious should be hanging in the Louvre. I'm going to say that live. It's a real. They're so brilliant because they're so crazy.
Kubrick was okay, but he didn't live for the time of Fast and Furious.
I mean, it's not like Eyes Wide Shut is basically predicting the whole Epstein thing. I made Epstein into this episode. I did it.
Bing, 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 bing.
Graham gets a new stuffed animal.
They fall from the ceiling right now.
It's just a stuffed animal hangs down. Hey, yeah. Kubrick was a genius, but he's no Fast and Furious franchise.
He's no Fast and Furious. Yeah, it's true.
I mean, they get recruited by the government. They're just a bunch of and remember watch the trajectory of those movies. It's amazing. The first movie, it's like stolen CDs or something is what's happening in that. Now they're like a special unit of the CIA or something. Like, you want to talk about a government? They're
the bicep and car unit of the CIA. You didn't know there was one, but there is one.
And The Rock is their handler. I mean, it's brilliant. I mean, it's literally, and there's a scene where he's like holding in one of them. He's flexing the entire movie, The Rock. Like, he's holding like here's your secret dossier or whatever. And he's like flexing. I'm like, it's paper. It's maybe 2 ounces. There's no reason for you to flex.
Well, they give him 50-pound dumbbells and they green screen them out. They're green dumbbells that he has to hold at all times.
That's what everything he's doing. Like, here's the TV remote.
I've actually only seen one. I had avoided him for years, and then the only time I'll watch a movie that dumb is on planes, because it's like trying to deal with a long flight, trying to deal with torture. It's just like anything to insert in the eye hole that will take away the ass pain. So I saw the one with the Rock, and so that's the first one I've ever seen of any of those. And well, the most I think the most recent one. But anyway, the moment where my favorite moment is the moment where he's holding a tow truck on one side and a helicopter and a string of cars on the other. And you're like, if there were any physics in this universe, The Rock would rip in 42 pieces at once.
Yes. This is like what mobsters use to kill people to make a point, is they tie them to 2 different cars and pull them apart. Yeah. There's another one, the one that came out, I don't know, maybe 4 years ago. I forget which number it was, 5 or something, where they're on this, there's this big plane, like a C-130 or whatever, that's trying to take off, and they're fighting terrorists or whatever on this runway. The plane is on the runway. I timed it once, 15 minutes. Like, it's like a 30-mile runway, and they just keep fighting. I'm like, where is this runway? It's literally, and there's somewhere in Europe. I'm like, that runway went from like Prague all the way under the Channel into London. Like, it's unreal how long it is. And
and then right as it was going to take off, The Rock grabbed the wheels and held it to the ground. So yeah, they couldn't take off because he was holding it.
I'm telling you, I want to make a movie combining the Step Up franchises. Remember the Underground Dance Battle franchises? Those are also amazing movies.
Oh my God, Graham, you trashed the Fifth Element, and now you're telling us Spice World is the best movies will ever be.
Here's the thing. I think here's my deal. If you're going to make Fifth Element, either make it a really good dramatic movie or go so outlandish. Don't come middle of the road. So I'm not entertained.
It's pretty fucking outlandish. How is it not outlandish? It's fucking crazy. There's like lizard people that morph into humans. There's fucking there's weird philosophical rants as what's his name choking on a cherry. Like, it's fucking brilliant.
I stack up any Fast and Furious up against your Fifth Element.
There's Chris Tucker in some sort of effeminate male idol role that, you know, can never be topped.
A precursor to the Hunger Games people.
Oh, you know, yeah. It is very Hunger Games.
Anyway, I want to make a movie combining the Step Up and the Fast and Furious world, and I want to call it Step Up and Furious. And there's going to be a scene where there's a plane trying to take off, and they have a dance battle on the wings to prevent it from taking off with the airlift. And it's like all the Step Up and Furious, you know, themes are like, oh, they're you know, the developers want to close down the teen center so they can't dance anymore, whatever.
and the Rock comes in.
Right. But it's like terrorists want to take over the teen center, and they have a car race and a dance off. Like, I want to make this movie. I want to.
I am down as an investor if you just rename it Ass and Furious. Then I'm in.
Done. Put the money in escrow. Let's make this movie.
Ethereum, that shit.
I'm gonna fuck yeah, man. Ethereum's going through the roof already. It's over $500. So I have a lot of Ethereum that's gonna pay for this movie. Oh my God. We're making a crypto movie called Ass and Furious. It's gonna be great. Dance battles and car races all in one. Oh my God. Hey, stunt coordinators, I'm gonna change the world. Okay.
Get ready.
Be ready. All right. Anyway, that's my government secret.
That's my government secret, was that film that he's been hiding.
But yeah, we spent 3 minutes on Rudy Giuliani, who's from the Fifth Element. So, all right, here's my actual government secret. Oh no, it's hidden, of course. God damn it. Ladies and gentlemen, government secret, episode 17, segment number, I guess maybe
six.
We've done 5 segments already.
There was cars, stuffed animals, Fast and Furious, and then Bitcoin. Yeah.
Bitcoin. All right, so here's so this is a fun one because I love me some CIA in our it wouldn't be a fun.
It's true. We can't have an episode without some CIA.
Can't have some CIA. Well, here's something. So we're obviously, you and I are huge proponents of the CIA torture program. That's why we have our YouTube shows. We love Gina Haspel. We'd love her to be president. So I've just found this. CIA used prisoner as training prop for torture. This is insanity. A man accused of helping finance September 11th terrorist attacks was subjected to excessive abuse at the hands of the CIA interrogators, who used him as a training tool for employees learning the agents' torture techniques.
What the fuck does that even look like? Do they have those like rooms like with the surgery with the stadium seating where they come and watch a surgeon do but they do that with fucking needles under the fingernails or some shit?
Probably something horrific like that. And then that's, you know, people like Gina Haspel, who, like John Kiriakou, wrote that piece in the that op-ed piece, I think in the New York Times or Washington Post, saying he'd love to see a woman as the head, but not her, because she literally, his words, got off on watching people get tortured. So
yeah, and she was over that was talked about when they were nominating her. She oversaw various programs. Like, she might not have been the one actively doing it, but she was certainly approving of it and certainly overseeing it. Yeah.
She liked flying to CIA black sites and watching people getting tortured. So she was probably part of this training. Like, how insane is this? This is according to testimony Thursday from a psychologist who helped design the torture program, James Mitchell, First of all, when you were a young psychology student, James, is this what you were hoping to get to? Or like you secretly nuts? Or was there a day you pointed to where you're like, oh man, this is where I lost all hope, or they threatened me, or what makes you go, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there is a debate in the psychologist community about whether they should be involved in these things. Obviously, I think they fucking shouldn't. But yeah, it's horrific that these people consider themselves psychologists and they use their skill set to harm people as much as possible.
And gee, who else used to do this? Oh, the Nazis. That's right. The Nazis used to do stuff like this. He co-owned a company that was paid $80 million. Well, now that answers the question. Hey, why did you do this, James? $80 million bucks. It's paid $80 million by the U.S. government to develop what the CIA called enhanced interrogation techniques. Said the prisoner Amar Baluchi became an instructional aid for student interrogators. Jesus. The 42-year-old nephew of alleged 9/11 mastermind Khalid Shaikh Mohammed is facing criminal charges in the terror attacks. During a May 2003 interrogation at a secret overseas CIA prison in Afghanistan known as a black site, al-Buchi was slammed into a wall, doused with water, and slapped multiple times in the face and stomach, according to an unclassified CIA document presented in court.
Just for training, just to show the other kids how it works. Here's how we do it, kids.
I mean, do the fire departments set probationary guys at the academy and girls on fire? Let's say, is this what they're gonna like? Hey, we got a prisoner, and we're gonna show you how to deal with a human being that's on fire. So we're gonna set them on fire and have them run through the fire academy, and this is how we're gonna. This will help us. And then there's a psychologist there going, "See, fire hurts." I mean, like, where else would we allow this shit to happen?
Yeah, I mean, it's not just horrific, but I think they've basically always failed to prove they get any real intelligence from this shit. So, because, you torture someone, they're going to tell you whatever it is that you want to know, even when they don't have that information. So they just give you nonsense or garbage just to make you happy. Sometimes they'll give you names of people that, tell us who the other terrorists are, and they'll give you names just so you leave them alone. Doesn't mean that person's a terrorist. And I mean, they just get garbage intel from this, and then they keep doing it. And even though it's been proven a time and again to be just fucking meaningless, they're just so sadistic and fucked up that they really enjoy it.
I mean, even John McCain, a torture victim himself, said it doesn't work. Like, he even had examples of, like, they got intelligence that turned out to be fake because the person just said whatever they needed to say to get the torture to stop.
Yeah, John McCain is one of those bizarre examples where he apparently got through his torture and understood that torture is no good. However, it had the reverse effect on whether we should be bombing other countries, and he just wanted to kill everyone as a result of his time in torture.
Yeah, I don't want to torture people, but we can just set all their homes on fire. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I mean, really, I've never met a country I don't want to napalm. But he was insistent that had nothing to do with some psychological problems he was suffering following his many months of torture.
No. He didn't have lifelong PTSD that infected his legislation as a politician in America. No, not at all. We shouldn't, PTSD, just, we shouldn't deal with it. It's not like we have 22 vets a day that commit suicide. It's not like we have cops that have severe PTSD. We have kids in violent neighborhoods that have PTSD. Let's just not deal with it, America. Let's keep it untreated. And then let's also have easy access to guns and just let everybody either get a gun or pharmaceuticals to be narked up. This is right. Does this seem like a good?
Yeah. I mean, well, because if you acknowledge that you have PTSD, then let's face it, you're a loser and a girly man.
You are weak. You are
totally weak.
Absolutely weak. I've admitted I have it. That's why I talk to my dolls.
But you only admit it to them, though.
Right. Yeah. And the woman that smashed into my car because I wanted her to love me. So, yeah, here's some fun stuff. During a May 2003 interrogation, this is, of course, during the Bush years, and that's why it's so wonderful to see Michelle Obama and Ellen talk about how wonderful war criminal George W. Bush is.
Listen, he was one of the good, lovable war criminals, Graham. You got to understand, there are different brands, and he was one of the good ones.
He was, and he's so cute and folksy. He'd lean into the camera and say, "We're going to do this right." And we'll go, "Oh, I want to have a beer with this warmonger. I really want to have a beer. I want a war criminal I can have a beer with."
Once I make sure he wasn't armed or anything, I'd like to have a beer with that fella.
Yeah, he seems reasonable. I mean, Ted Bundy was kind of, he seemed like a decent guy, represented himself in court. I want a serial killer I can have a beer with. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, because I mean, a little beer will go a long way in erasing war crimes.
It does. Couple of cold beers, all the war crimes go away. War crimes like secret overseas CIA prison. Where was it? Yeah, in 2003, before his interrogation, Al Bellucci was kept in a standing sleep deprivation position for about a day, and afterward was returned to his cell naked and again placed in a standing sleep deprivation position, where he remained until his next interrogation the following day. The document shows. He was also denied solid food and given cold water bath afterward. According to the CIA records, the interrogation provided little new information.
Oh, what are the odds?
Other than, well, the information was provided was America is a sadistic, evil, warmongering, sociopathic, imperialistic empire. So we got that information.
I mean, if he told them that, then that's useful information he gave them. So
I'm sure he said that and they went, well, this isn't useful. We don't want to admit how awful we've become. Yeah, testifying at the U.S. military court in Guantanamo in a pretrial hearing for El Bellucci and other September 11 defendants, Mitchell affirmed claims by El Bellucci's attorneys that CIA employees used the experience to earn certification in the agency's enhanced interrogation techniques. The employees were already qualified in the techniques, but needed more hands-on training to become certified.
Oh, God. I mean, these are some of the worst, some of the most horrific euphemisms I've ever heard. Of course, there's enhanced interrogation, which just needs to be called fucking torture. And then hands-on training. Yeah, fucking, waterboarding someone, punching them, fucking stabbing them. Who knows? Turning up the voltage on the fucking car battery you connected to them.
I can't. And then Mitchell, during testimony, this is the psychologist, defended his role in the CIA's torture program, emphasizing the climate of fear in the United States after September 11th attacks and the concern that another catastrophic event was imminent. Given those circumstances, he said the government was willing to do whatever was necessary to prevent that, even if it resulted in the temporary discomfort of terrorists who had voluntarily taken up war against us. All right, Mitchell.
Discomfort. And also the climate of fear. I love that as a fucking excuse for being a goddamn war criminal. There was a climate of fear, so I figured I could just do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah, and the CIA cut ties with Mitchell. I can't look at that anymore, but like that's like, so that's
upbeat.
It is totally upbeat. It is totally an upbeat thing. And this is why doing this show and Political Vigilante makes me talk to stuffed animals. So
that'll do it. But I'm glad that helps.
It absolutely helps. So yeah, that's my government secret. Our boy Mitchell went to psychology school to become a warmongering torture sociopath and participate in America's war crimes. So all you young psychology students out there,
Yeah. Who says you can't become rich as a psychologist?
$80 million.
That's what people tell you, but that's not true. You just got to know where to look.
Is that on the cover of Psychology Today, by the way? 80 million torture. You could too. Is it like a get rich quick scheme?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
all right. So I got one. I'm 90% sure I haven't already done this one. If at any point I bring up a topic that we've done before, you can feel free to let me know.
All right.
So I know we've at least mentioned it. We were talking about the various countries we invade, but something that seems to be the unifying factor as to which countries we want to crush the most. You know, people throw out a lot of ideas, and each of them has some impact on whether we really go in there and really want to crush them. So, there's things like oil and resources and the fact that the country has socialism. But it seems that the number one reason that really unites the ones that we reserve, the U.S. government reserves its greatest ire for.
Number one reason for invasion
is being outside of our central banking system.
Pew, 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 pew. Should have been a central banker, but
and so I cover it some in my book, and I want to read a quote. This is not from me, but from this is a quote I have in my book from Ellen Brown. She's an economist. She does a lot of good work and a writer, and she talks about. So we've also talked about this before. General Wesley Clark's when he revealed that we were going to invade, was it 5 countries or 7 countries in 5 years or whatever, and most of them came true. Well, almost all of those are outside of our central banking system. They are the ones that threaten our economic stranglehold on the world the most. I think the way the U.S. government views it behind closed doors is that it's okay to have some small countries here and there that aren't connected to the petrodollar and within the central banking system, but to have a powerful one or a large one like Iran or Libya or Iraq is the most threatening. So we go after the largest ones that are outside of that realm. And so Ellen Brown said of General Clark's 7 countries in 5 years, she said, what do these 7 countries have in common? None of them is listed among the 56 member banks of the Bank for International Settlements, BIS. That evidently puts them outside the long regulatory arm of the central banker's central bank in Switzerland. The most renegade of the lot could be Libya and Iraq, the 2 that have actually been attacked, and not just attacked, but collapsed into failed states that have been completely crushed, and millions of people having their lives either ended or destroyed in one form or another. So while the oil is a nice little benefit, we're not generally, especially now that oil is fading, we're not generally invading these countries to the extent of our Iraq invasion because of oil. It has to be more than that. And the more is the central banking system. And Iran and Syria have both dropped the dollar in terms of their, international trade. And that is usually within a year or 2 of a country dropping the dollar or saying they're going to do without it or work around it, is when we start putting massive sanctions on them and ultimately maybe invading. But Iran is probably right now the biggest one that is outside of our central banking system that allows us to have kind of economic hegemony in the world. And that is one of the biggest things. Venezuela is another one, but Venezuela is not as powerful as Iran, not as big.
Well, this brings up so many great points, and it explains so many things. Like, any country that's gone off the petrodollar, which is part of what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Like central banks and the petrodollar are obviously all connected. So anybody that goes off the petrodollar, ooh, they're in trouble, because again, that really undermines American hegemony. That's a big part of it, which is why, you know, we're trying to, and you heard this in the primaries, you heard this in the general election, of blaming China. If that's what we're calling it, they tried to call, you know, coronavirus the Chinese virus. They really tried to make that stick, because China went off the petrodollar, started the petro yuan. They are creating their own cryptocurrency, and
they're economically building so fast that they're going to, you know, be defeating us very soon.
Yeah, and everyone's like worried that they're going to invade us. They're not going to invade us. They're just taking us over financially, economically.
They're buying us up. One story I loved was that they bought up a lot of the. They own some of the biggest pork producers in the country, in the U.S. A Chinese company does, or the Chinese government does, or something. And these pork producers are these mass factory farms that the story I did was how they don't know what to do with the lagoons of shit that are just like overflowing. And so what they do, and they made it so the legislature voted to make it legal to continue it, is they spray the lagoons of shit into the air and just let it waft down and basically laminate nearby towns in pig shit. And that's what goes on. And so China really owns this company. And so China is covering us in pig shit. If you thought it couldn't get any more humiliating for America.
I can't even. And I mean, I don't know how to respond to that.
That'll fry your brain. That'll cut it off.
Well, thanks for listening to Government Secrets, everybody. Remember, you're covered in pig shit. Like, never forget, you're covered in pig shit. I like. Oh God, our system is so broken and flawed.
You're about a second away from grabbing the stuffed animals out that are out of the camera right now.
They're on the couch behind the camera, and they want to come and hug me right now, and they want to talk. They want to talk to our friend Lee. Hi, Lee. Like, I'm that close to just going fucking banana boat nut. Just fucking, what happened to Graham? Lost his shit. Talks to stuffed animals. He says the world is covered in pig shit and he can't cope anymore.
He's been writing something called Ass and Furious for the past 20 years. And it's really kind of sad.
It's like a 1,400-page script. It doesn't make any sense. It's insane. And I don't know. There's a talking surfboard in it. Like, nothing makes any sense. Grandma's gone fucking bananas. It's really like, I don't even know how it shows you our crazy American empire's crazy, greedy, imperialistic, we got to control and gobble up everything, is now literally making us covered in pig shit. Like, it's and you see this, like, back to the economic thing, right? So this is one of the collateral damage of our insanity, is that this forces what China do, not to excuse China, whatever. They like they want power too, but they realized that they just want to buy everything. They want everybody to buy their products. So they've gone to Africa. Do they invade Africa and bomb Africa? No, they just buy up Africa. Hey, we're going to build you a port and railroads and stadiums and schools and airports. And it's just like, yeah. So now we get a taste of every, we see you as an emerging market, and we're going to be able to ship you all of our products. That's what they're doing, rather than the American, like, we're going to bomb you and make you suck our gun dicks. Like, it's, it's insane. And that's just why, and because of our crazy old colonial smash it if we don't understand it, kill it. I mean, this goes back to Government Secrets episodes where we've talked about how evil Christopher Columbus was. That mentality still, in my opinion, pervades those that are in power. They still think in that terms of like, oh, well, why don't we just beat these people and enslave them and kill them and rape them. Then we can just make, rather than like, oh, how do we learn to work with them? At least China is trying to figure out, well, let's, if we beat and kill everybody, eventually they're going to rise. So let's take care of everybody. There hasn't been a lot of Tiananmen squares since they started giving their citizens a little taste of capitalism.
Right. I think you're onto something, that the mentality in our country that goes back several hundred years is basically, who can crush and dominate and exploit the people around them the most. That doesn't mean there weren't some good people, but the good people were often pushed aside or crushed by those who were willing to do the most harm, the sociopaths, the true fucking villains. And, you're seeing that now. It's like Trump gets vomited up by a system, and Giuliani to some extent too, gets vomited up by a system where the person willing to step on the most faces to achieve will be the one who gets to the top.
Yeah.
And that is how he's gotten there. That's how he's done every step of it. And it goes, this is not a partisan thing. It goes for both sides. It goes for most of your national politicians. And they are the ones who were willing to kind of crush the most people, leave the most people in their wake to get there. And for anyone out there that was like, well, okay, let's not be so hard. Let's work with people. Let's consider the other human beings involved in this. Those people get crushed. They get the fucking assholes team up and destroy them. So unfortunately, it's a system that vomits up ultimately people like Donald Trump.
Yeah, I mean, capitalism rewards the evil, sinister, cutthroat sociopath. It rewards it. The more you crush people and exploit and resources, the more successful you are. So it encourages that behavior. And rather than like identifying those people like, hey, they're a threat to society, it's like, wow, we should all try to be like them. Like, hey, they're successful. Boy, look at how many puppies they set on fire and to get themselves into a private jet. It's unbelievable. And you see this threat, and it's why going back to China and Russia. So then when China went off the petro dollar and started using the petro yuan, them and Russia trade a lot they have a pipeline together. So that's why, they're the two evil countries. Right. And that's why all these Central Asian countries, China, Russia, Pakistan, Kyrgyzstan, they got off of buying and selling, goods using the dollar, because most of the world does that. So instead of trying to figure out between the Pakistani and the Russian ruble, we'll just use the dollar. Well, they said the hell with that. We're getting, again, another way to take away America's power. And it's why I've learned and become such a proponent of like cryptocurrency, because you see how it empowers. Yeah. It really gets money away from the centralized banks, and they're trying to get involved. They're all buying big chunks of Bitcoin and stuff like that, which can influence the market up to a certain extent, but they can't control everything.
But,
they can't.
It's still outside of their control to some degree. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, there's part of the central banking thing. The big banks love war because war incurs a lot of debt, and that's how they make their money, is debt. That's why we've talked about this on numerous episodes of this show. The American worker is is an indentured servant, a wage slave. They just want you getting some job that barely pays your bills. They want you to barely be able to pay your bills. So guess what? Get that fancy TV on credit, get that credit card,
yeah.
And pay all the interest.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know whether the history adds up accurately like this, but it wouldn't surprise me if, first thing we did was we enslaved various other countries, a lot of them in Latin America, to us via debt. And then when there's kind of not enough, it was like, okay, well, where do we look now to get more debt? Well, let's just debt all of the American people to the ruling class,
right?
To the bankers. And so now basically your average American is treated like we've treated Latin America for so many years. It's like, yeah, we'll hook you up with all that nice stuff, all that stuff you want in your house. Owe us lots of money and never do anything else that you want with your life because you're trying to pay off that fucking debt.
Yep. And here's shitty jobs. So you can't get outside of the debt in the central banking system. I mean, the smartest thing I've done is this past, I've started to make some money doing crypto. And when Bitcoin is somewhere over $18,000 now, which is amazing.
Crazy.
First thing I did over the summer when I started to make some profits in Bitcoin is it started going up. I paid off all my credit cards. I have no unsecured debt because I want out of their banking system. And that's a way to empower people is to do this, because this is why all these governments are scrambling to come up with a digital currency, is because they want to, obviously it's the future, but anyway.
Yeah, I have no debt except one guy named Louis the Peach who operates out back the strip club. I owe him. I don't want to talk about it.
Louis the Peach. Look, there was a floating crap game. The dice went a little cold, and I'm just working my way through this. And Louis the Peach has been very nice. As long as I pay the VIG, everybody's happy.
For some odd reason, I owe him a suede couch. I don't know how that happened, but I'm working on it. I've been working at Starbucks to try and pay that off.
If I give him some furs, I guess some of the debt gets knocked down. So we're just working through that. We're sort of a new payment plan, but we'll figure that out.
We're getting there. We're getting there. Other than that, no debt. So, all right, man. Good episode. I think we did it.
Government Secrets, episode 17. Put it in the books. Pew, 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 pew. Anywhere from 3 to 7 segments. Not quite sure. Some of them ramble.
Some of them went too long. All right.
Some of them were really just about Graham's pathetic dating life and stuffed animals. Not really a secret.
Not anymore, at least. Yeah, folks. So if you're unaware, this is if you're watching the video and you're unaware, this is a podcast, and you guys can look it up on all your podcast platforms and listen to it all the time while you're driving all over the place or what have you, or washing dishes, or giving handies to neighborhood dogs if that's your thing, whatever. Whatever it is,
dog handy Friday, whatever you're doing,
whatever it is, you listen to the podcast when you got other shit to do. But as you can tell from this episode, much of this stuff is evergreen. So you can go back, listen to past episodes. There will never not be a good time to learn about how Graham's car got hit by a monster truck. So evergreen topics.
Right.
You can go back and listen to the last one.
The real government secret is I entered my electric car into a monster truck rally. I have to be, and I didn't fare as well. So that's what. So don't bring your. It's
Truckosaurus versus Graham's Nissan Leaf.
Watch Truckosaurus absolutely just ingest a neon leaf and then shit it out all over the crowd.
Graham's fully charged Nissan Leaf couldn't handle Truckosaurus.
I don't know if my next car is going to be electric. I'm going to be quite honest with you. So,
Turns out Truckosaurus leaves the neon leaf alone because he's not a vegetarian. He only eats meat.
Truckosaurus can't eat vegan pussy cars. Truckosaurus. Sunday.
But the executives above this show would like you to know we do not view pussies as weak. Pussies are strong. Women are awesome.
Yes, that's absolutely true. Pussies are strong. That's it. We should just end the show right there.
Oh, that end scene. And that's the title of the episode right there.
Pussies are strong. They're so strong. They're very powerful. They have so much power.
And real quick, guys, I'm gonna head out. I know Graham is gonna address some of your comments, I believe, but my stuff is all at leecamp.com. I do live streams. I have another podcast called Common Censored with Eleanor Goldfield, and a TV show called Redacted. Oh, and the book I mentioned is called Bullet Points and Punchlines.
Great book.
And everybody can check it out at leecampbook.com. 20% discount with the coupon code, the initials of the title, BPAPL. All right, all right.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's me texting Kate, our moderator. She's like, "Are you going live today?" And I'm like, "Oh God, I forgot to tell her that I'm was going live with me." I'm not used to having employees, folks. I don't know quite how to function. But yes, go to leecamp.com,
ladies and gentlemen, to check out all of Lee Campness.
And of course, please, if you're new to this show, if you're watching it on either of our YouTube platforms, also download it and listen to it, because the more downloads we get on iTunes and Spotify and stuff like that helps the analytics. And share this on your social media, because that always helps too. And everything I do is at grahamelwood.com. I have a live show this Saturday with Ron Placone, a Zoom comedy show. It is Saturday, November 21st at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. You can buy tickets. They're $10. Go to my Venmo, which is at Graham-Elwood. And please specify you want a ticket to the November 21st show, which is tomorrow, because I get some other donations in through Venmo. So if you just do $10, I won't know what it's for unless you say it's for the comedy show, November 21st with myself and Ron Placone. And then follow us both on social media. All those things help. Likes and shares, and subscribe to both of our channels. We're both getting unsubscribed by YouTube, so those are all free ways to support the show. So I think that's Lee's gonna check out, but I will answer all the questions in the super chat. So that's the end of the
Government Secrets episode 17.
Later, guys. Thanks, Graham.
Bye, Lee. I'm gonna make a stuffed animal of you.
Oh God.
That's Lee's last words. Oh God. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button. Go to patreon.com/GrahamElwood and rockfin.com/GrahamElwood, where you can support the show. Also, I have a Bitcoin wallet, a Bitcoin Cash wallet, and an Ethereum wallet in the show notes. We're taking cryptocurrency. I have a Coinbase affiliation link. We're going to be getting on some other exchanges. So that's how you support the show. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. YouTube is unsubscribing us at an alarming rate. I have a PayPal button at GrahamElwood.com. I even have a Venmo at Graham-Elwood. There's a lot of ways to support our show. We are getting crushed by YouTube. We've dipped under 73,000 subscribers because of YouTube. Thanks for supporting what we do.